Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here. We're here for episode 3 of Stranger Things. We open with Hopper and Elle trying to break through the wall, but it's impossible. Elle opens it up partly with her powers, but it slips back down. Then they notice the army is coming, so they gotta hide. Plus, there's something they're taking with it that's having an adverse effect on Elle. Meanwhile, back on the upper side, I guess we could call it, or the right side, we have it's now daylight, and Joyce has gone looking for Will and Robin, and she finds them, and she and Will have a fight where Will makes it very clear we can't play safe. We have to take chances. Things are coming. He's connected with Vecna, and he knows who the next victim is. That would be Derek Turnblow, Holly's bully. Now, Holly is in the Krupp's house with Henry, aka Vecna, and he's telling her he will be bringing Derek, but he knows Derek has been mean to her, but he promises her if Derek does anything, he will let him know that he will then have to return to the upper world and have to face the monsters on his own. Now, he has things to do, so he has to leave. But he leaves her. He tells Holly she has to run at the house. And not to go into the woods. There are monsters in there, and they could hurt her. Now, let's see. Yeah. Back in the Upside Down, the soldiers arrive. They're kind of looking around. They're going to, they radio back. They're going to do a reconnoiter, which basically means they're going to smoke some cigarettes and relieve themselves. Hop notices one of them relieves himself on the wall. Now, why would he do that? Unfortunately, this device, which they call the hedgehog, is still affecting Elle, and she cries out, which leads to a firefight. And Hop's doing okay, but a lot of men there, and they've called for reinforcements. But he manages to take out the hedgehog, which allows Elle to power up and just wipe them away. Don't know if she kills them or not, but when the reinforcements arrive, they see some of the men. Now, Hop shot some of them, and the destroyed vehicles that Elle had smashed around, but not them. Elle and Hop are hiding out in the upside down version of where she trains with the man who had pissed on the wall. Hop recognizes that he is not a grunt. He's somewhat a little higher, and he can maybe answer some questions. Now, everybody up on the top side is called into a meeting at the radio station, where Will comes up with the plan of getting the family and Derek out of that house blindfolded, so that Vecna, who can see through Derek's eyes, won't know where they take him. He's going to take them to an old barn outside of town. Dustin says that's not going to work. That's just a delay tactic. It's not going to get us any closer to Holly. and it's not going to get us any closer to defeating Vecna. Mike agrees, and he comes up with another plan off of Will's plan. They will go through with the getting them out of the house, but they will leave in the house a decoy. They will then plant a tracker on the Demogorgon, and he will lead them back to where Holly is, hopefully. Sounds good. So Steve goes to clear all the electronics out of the van because they're going to need that to transport the Turnbull family. Dustin and Steve have another fight, and then Dustin takes the drill and punches a hole through the roof of Steve's Beamer because they're going to need a car to track with, and they don't need a whole bus. They can use the car. And Steve's upset, but the hole's already there, and they don't really have another car they can really spare. Good enough. While that's happening, Lucas and Mike head to the high school, or no, the junior high, that's right, to see Lucas's sister, Erica, to get her, who is friends with Tina, Derek's older sister, so that they can do this thing. Well, she doesn't like Tina anymore. They've had a falling out. Well, can't she just apologize? Oh no, she's not apologizing to Tina. Then Mike says, look, Holly's missing. We need to get into their house, take them away because Derek's in danger now too. And if you help us with this, I can guarantee Tina will never speak to you again. To which Holly says, well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Meanwhile, Will and Robin head to the hospital. Robin's going to go visit her grandmother. It's not her grandmother, it's just someone she visits, and she knows that the nurses are a little lazy and they leave a lot of their medications in the room in a closet so they don't have to keep going back and forth. But her girlfriend is there, and so they hide in a room. While they're hiding, she and Will kind of talk, and although he doesn't come out and say he is in the closet as like she is, he does ask her about how she knew if her girlfriend was the one, and the kissing and everything, and they kind of have a little bonding moment. They then realize they're in Mr. Keeler's room. And if what holds true for the nurses and woman that Robin visits might hold true here, and yes, they find a whole closet full of drugs, and they take the benzos they need. They're going to use the benzos. Okay. Back at the crap house, someone knocks on the door. Holly's been trying on different dresses and things, and she's got this nice little blue dress, and she's put her hair in little pigtails, long pigtails like Wednesday Addams, and she's found Henry's room where all his scouting stuff is, and she's put on his bandana and scouting, I don't know what they called that when we had that in the scout, but the thing that holds the kerchief together. Anyways, she doesn't go to the door. She's a little scared. It goes away, she goes outside, looks around. There's a letter in the post box. Earlier, Henry had said to get her mail, and she had found in there a ghetto blaster, a small one, and a copy of Tiffany's latest tape, her favorite artist. Anyway, she sees that the flag is up. That means there's mail. She goes. It's a letter from Henry saying she needs to meet him in the park. He needs her help. Now, to get to the park, she has to go through the woods, and she's a little scared of that. But Henry has asked for her help. So she goes. She puts on a cloak, grabs the telescope and other supplies from Henry's scouting equipment, puts them in a little knapsack, and heads out, looking very much like a version of Red Riding Hood. Kind of adds to the fairy tale ambiance of this season. Let's see. Murray arrives with the supplies they've asked for, although he could not get everything Dustin wanted. He and Dustin have a little about it. But Dustin has to admit he's right. He just can't expect everything. They'll have to make do. He also finds that Nancy is putting a tracker in a shotgun shell. And he says, you can't do that. The recoil and the friction and the impact, that all might destroy the tracker. Well, I guess we'll have to test it. So Jonathan and Murray, they lay some bags of, not quite sure, cornmeal maybe? It doesn't matter. Up for her to shoot at, and they have a little discussion about this, a whispered discussion, so that Nancy doesn't hear, about his and Nancy's relationship, and if he's given her, and he's asked her, no, it's not the right time. Oh, it's never going to be the right time. You just have to do it. And then she fires the shell. Tracker still works. It's in one piece, and it's blinking. Okay. We then find out that what it was Jonathan was wanting to ask Nancy is that Murray had got him an engagement ring for her. But he's just not, it's not the right time with all this stuff going on. Anyways, back in the Upside Down, the soldier has woken up. And Hopper and Elle are kind of working together. Hopper's asking questions, but while he's doing that, Elle was off into another vehicle, eyes covered, and is entering his mind through the void. So he starts asking questions. He doesn't know anything, and Elle starts feeding Hopper over the walkie-talkie the information she's getting. Who's Dr. Cray? Well, I don't know any Dr. Cray. Oh, yes, you do. Where's she located? I don't know anything about this. And then Elle finds out they have a base in the Upside Down in one of the Hawkins side streets. Which explains why the last episode, when the soldier told Dr. K that she's here, we thought that meant, oh, she's in town. No, she's in the Upside Down, because that's where they are. She also finds out there is something being held in a massively secured cell. He knows what it is, but he won't say. And by the time she's able to pull open the cell door in his mind, he passes out from the strain, and she's got a nosebleed and everything. All she can tell Hopper is that it's someone very powerful. It must be Vecna. Could be, could not be. Meanwhile, Erica arrives at the Turnbull house with one of her pies that they love so much, and she apologizes to Tina. And they start eating the pie after dinner. Nom, 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 nom. And Father notices it tastes a little different. Did you put something in it? She goes, nutmeg. Oh, that must be it. And Tina's not eating while I'm watching my weight, but it's okay. I put in, it's all sugar-free. You don't have to worry about back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And about that time, the parents and her little brother all pass out. She runs scared, but Erica knocks her down, pulls out her syringe and said, you really should have eaten the pie. Okay, everybody comes in. They get the Wheelers, or the Turnbulls out into the van. Joyce, Will, and Robin they're all covered in pillowcases. Run them out to the the barn. Then we get a neat little throwback to the 80s. They start laying all these homemade traps. Now, a lot of people would think, oh, they're doing Home Alone. No, everything is centric to this time period. It's not Home Alone traps they're setting. Horror fans will recognize some of the traps. The ones that Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street, the original, made to slow down Freddy Krueger and maybe kill him in the climax of that film. And the Demgorgon then shows up. Lucas is bait after it discovers that there's a dummy in Derek's bed, chasing him around the house, hitting several of the traps and getting more and more ticked off. One trap, which destroyed the Turnblow's entire wine cellar because they cut a hole in the floor with a chainsaw and it dropped out and knocked every shelf over. But it does allow them to drop the Demogorgon into a pit of barbed wire. And when he tries to climb out, Mike smashes him in the head with a shovel. At which point, Nancy shoots the Demogorgon with the shotgun shell. Bam! Tracker is embedded. They can see it. And Jonathan throws a Molotov cocktail at it, setting it on fire, which gets it to escape. They all rush out to the car. Dustin gets the locks on. They head out. They're going back and forth, back and forth. Around. At one point, Dustin just yells, "Turn right!" and they cut through, but there's no street, so they end up going through several yards before they realize it's doubling back and going another direction. They have to turn around. The reason it doubled back, Derek woke up and he took the pillowcase off. And by the time Robin got the pillowcase back on him, Will says, "It's too late. Vecna knows where we are. It's coming." Now we get back to Holly, who's made it through the woods pretty safely. But there's this huge wall with a cave in it. Where's Park? Takes out her telescope and is looking around and sees something move in the cave, and she gets frightened and she runs. And whatever's in that cave runs after her, and she tries to hide, but it finds her. And when she looks up, we see that it is Max. That's why she hasn't come out of her coma. She is in the upside down on Vecna's side of the wall. What an ending. I am really looking forward to the next episode. This was really good. A lot of good humor, some excitement. Loved the traps. There was this one with all these nails on this kind of crossbeam, and it just swung down into the Demogorgon. Great traps. Loved them. Dustin and Steve loved their argument. And that whole thing where he's like sitting on the roof of the beamer, and Steve's like, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!" And Dustin's like, "Shh. We agreed we wouldn't speak to each other." And I'm glad to see Erica finally make her appearance. She was always a bright spot of cynical insulting that I've always enjoyed. And now that she's older, she's even more snippy. And I like the fact that her favorite class is the science class that is taught by the teacher that everybody used to go to for scientific advice in the previous seasons. That was kind of a cute callback. And I'm glad to see Max. I've been missing her through this whole thing. And really kind of interested to see how things are going to turn out. And just at the midpoint, because, you know, we've got one more episode, and then the second half will come out, I think, the week after I get the last episode up. We'll see. But yeah, really good episode. I'm really liking this season. They're pulling everything together. curious to see what the whole deal is in the lab, the Dr. K and all that. Yeah, really good episode. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.